Hello, everyone, and welcome. Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to the general intuitive reading for this week, February 17th, 2020. My name is Claire Candy Hough, and it's wonderful to have you along. Now, just a reminder that these are general readings, and they can't possibly resonate with everyone, but whenever you do watch them, perhaps you can garner some information to give you some clarity, some direction, perhaps some motivation and inspiration along your journey. Now, I want to send out a big thank you to everyone who subscribes, shares, and likes my videos. And also another big thank you goes out to all those people who feel nudged to donate and support my work and my free services. It means the world to me. I've put a donate button or a donate link down in the description box below. And it's the PayPal and it's my business, Angel Healing House. You know, before choosing any of our oracle or tarot cards, let's dive in and see what astrological and planetary energies are either affecting us indirectly or directly. With it being the midpoint of the month, it does seem like February's theme is all about renewal, as we are given time to repurpose what we've learned from our past lessons and consider new options for our next part of our journey. Now, these energies are rebooting us to forge ahead while reconsidering all those things in our lives that are not in alignment so that we can realign our lives. Well, you probably have guessed that with all of those words that I used, it is referencing the approaching Mercury retrograde that will station from today, February 16th, 17th, through till March the 10th. We have been in Mercury retrograde's pre-shadow phase since February the 2nd. Now, this Mercury retrograde is encouraging us, as all retrogrades, to slow down and to tune into our intuitions as Mercury retrograde heightens our sixth sense, especially as it's going through the dreamy water sign of Pisces. In fact, in order to not experience a mental battle this next 3 weeks, as Mercury is going counter to our linear thoughts, well, please don't try to problem solve during this time and mentally figure things out because it will just give you a headache. Instead, ease into it. Let your intuition be your best guide. Life slows down during a Mercury retrograde in order for us to review our lives in light of what's coming in and opening up for us. It gives us the time and opportunity to make sure everything is just right and ready for that new arrival. Remember that Mercury retrograde brings in a time for us to become more introspective, quiet, and is indeed a blessing, for we need this quiet time to adjust to all the changes that we have been through up until now. And haven't we been through a lot of shifts with the powerful energies that many have felt since the beginning of 2020? Now, there's a couple more astrological goings on to mention. On February 18th, 19th, the sun is moving into the sign of Pisces, which is the 12th and the last sign of the zodiacal calendar, because the zodiacal calendar begins with Aries. With Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac, it heralds a time of completion. We've reached the end of a cycle, and we've lived through all of the phases of the sun. Now it's time for us to celebrate, to tie up loose ends, and harvest all that we have sown. The sun's moving into Pisces is a very spiritual time, and it's where we can really reflect on the lessons, and introspective time will continue with Pisces new moon on February 23rd. And this beautiful new moon will prepare us for the wonderful new beginnings that come in the spring of 2020. We'll be right on time. So, all that is happening for our greatest good. So once again, don't try to figure things out. Don't try to do mental gymnastics and try to problem solve. Let your intuition be your best guide. So without further ado, let's go to the cards and see what messages the Posse of Angels, my angelic family, have for us today. Last week, the Posse of Angels and I spoke about a new quest that many of us will be embarking upon as we've come home to our divine eternal natures and we have mastered ourselves. And they are reminding us that there's a very big difference between allowing our quest to happen with ease and with grace and trying to force an outcome for it to happen. Knowing this, I was not surprised when two cards from my Heroes deck flipped over. And the first card is this one. Let's see if it can focus. And it's called Be Reborn Daily. It's a number 46, and therefore we add that together, and it is a number 1 card. Card's message is let go of the past and breathe in your new incarnation. I love that. It's reminding us to energetically begin to wear the new set of clothes for our new journey. And this is even before our quest manifests into the physical. Make it a daily practice to start to feel what it would look like to be validated and recognized for exactly who you are and for your creative projects and contributions to be valued in the world. Because the universe is in each and every one of us. It is our excited, focused energies that will help our intentions to appear in our physical reality. We, as an enlightened collective, are stepping into the dawn of our own conscious creations. And isn't that wonderful as our souls are being no less than resurrected? Resurrected from limiting beliefs. Resurrection from toxic programming that dimmed our lights. We are being resurrected like the phoenix, coming out of those ashes to begin anew. Having wiped this slate clean that dimmed our lights, we are being resurrected once again, and we released so many of us have released so much baggage. We feel lighter to ascend into a fresh new story that is most representative of who we are and the karmic, fated reason as to why we are here. By opening our hearts to allow ourselves to be reborn daily, we revel in the lightness and in the brightness of who we are. It's a great card to come out, especially at this time of Mercury retrograde, when we are being urged to be more quiet and introspective. So that was the first card that flipped out. The second card that flipped out was this card. Love the blues and the purples. And this card says build in breaks. It's very much in alignment with many of the cards of rest, recuperation, and restoration that came out this past week during my Facebook Live TV show, Views from My Balcony, with its message of saunter slowly. Now, it's a 6 card. Number 6 is a card of gaining balance and harmony and joy after what seemed to be a challenging time of the number 5. The number 6s get us back on an even keel. Spirit is giving us permission. They're saying, take some time out. As spiritual warriors, as light workers, as awakened conscious beings on this planet, We have devoted so much of our time, so much of our effort and our energy to the ascension of planet Earth and helping and assisting others to find their own light within. The Posse of Angels is assuring us that this is not a sign of giving up, but a restorative time to re-energize, recharge, reboot, revitalize, and push that refresh button of our lives. If you have felt resistance to moving forward, then it's time to take a nap. Just take a nap. The Posse of Angels and I give you permission to take a nap so that when your hero's journey begins again, begins anew, you'll feel reinvigorated and ready to take on the world. The important thing to remember is that many things in life, our projects, the development of relationships, and our progress as human sentient beings survive many stops and starts along the way in order to be realized. By building in these beautiful breaks in our lives, we do become fortified and revitalized to enjoy the new life unfolding for us on the horizon. So there are two very, very helpful cards there as we go into this slowing down time of Mercury retrograde. And when I consulted the fairy cards, because the fairies didn't want to be left out of the reading, the fairies were in complete agreement because the first fairy card that came out was solitude. Look at that beautiful fairy. There she is in nature. And we're being advised to spend time in quiet as we are inwardly preparing for the transformation of our lives. I love this card. Instead of thinking that we're alone during this quiet time, we can see ourselves as being in harmony with everything and everything always working out in divine order. It's truly a time to smell the flowers, listen to the birds sing, feel the breeze upon your face, and to relish and connect with the very essence of who you are. The Posse of Angels is reminding us that the greatest reassurances are those that wait silently during seemingly quiet times. They're saying if you could see all the activity that is going on in the etheric realm as they are setting up connections and opportunities while our human physical self is resting, you would just be amazed. By tuning into the deepest places within ourselves, we so often find the richest treasures, as many of us are transforming into who we divinely are. By doing so, it increases our awareness to be receptive and aware of subtle messages and signs from the angels and the fairies. So if you can, go out and spend some time in nature. Feel yourself just melt into those beautiful uh, uh, colors of springtime, or if it's fall or August where you are in the southern hemisphere, listen to the birds. Hear the babbling of a brook or the waves on the shore, crashing of the waves on the shore. This is you. You are no less than all the beauty of nature. Connect with that. And the fairies conveyed that message in the next card, which is, if I can get that to focus, Magical Gateway. And they were explaining to me that it's a sign of where this time of solitude is leading us, getting us ready for as we are energetically prepared to walk through this magical gateway. Now, in my previous shows, I've spoken about how many of us are traversing into new worlds and straddling dimensional realms. It's like we are leaving the past behind because we have changed so much and shifted vibrationally, energetically, that we are walking through that new magical gateway. This card is sharing that it takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where our greatest rewards are available to us. They are sharing for us to really fall into this quiet time. Do not wish it away, everyone, for the time will be fast approaching that we will be stepping boldly forward into our destinies and realize that this time out for us was truly a blessing indeed. So thank you so much, fairies. There's such beautiful messages. Once again, to review that, the first card that came out was be reborn daily. Be introspective during this time. Next was build in breaks, which is saunter slowly. It's allowing us to take some time out. Next is solitude, which the fairies and the angels are in complete agreement. Get yourself out in nature. And the next one is being prepared to walk through a magical gateway. As we are on a cellular level, we are and have been changed irrevocably so that we cannot live the lives that we lived before, and new ones are being prepared for us, and those doors are going to be opening for us to walk into those new magical realms. I shuffled before coming on board, and it's 11:11, 11:11, everyone. I was not surprised when these cards came out for many of us. I usually do not use my Rider-Waite deck. One of the most, it's probably the most used traditional deck in the world. But for some reason, the Posse of Angels wanted me to use this deck in particular. And the first card that came out for us was this card, the Judgment card. Now, I want you to take a good look at that card. I spoke about resurrection. I spoke about being reborn. A new phase of our life happened up. There is Gabriel, the archangel, blowing his trumpet, alerting each and every one of us that we are going through no less than a resurrection of who we are on a divine level. It's waking us up to our divine eternal natures so that we will be stepping into that divinely orchestrated karmic and fated destiny of ours. A lot of judgment cards don't have those people rising from the dead, but they wanted me specifically to use this card as it speaks about resurrection. And so there we go. The next card that came out for us is the Wheel of Fortune. We who have let go, we who have released and surrendered so much, are working in direct alignment with God and the angels, source, creator, universe, higher self, whatever consciousness you want to use for you to be working with those energies. It is a 10 card. It is a number 1 card as our cycle is starting again. The zodiacal cycle is starting again with the finishing up of Pisces going into Aries. I'm just getting shivers all over. Please, please release and let go. Surrender. You are being so guided to your next fated and karmic adventure journey on this in your physical incarnation. And there's that wonderful Wheel of Fortune turning in our favor. That wheel is working for us. So we've got the resurrection card of judgment, and now we're being so guided. I often have said in my programs that that once you do release and once you do surrender, it feels like you're going bowling with those bumper guards up. I remember when my children were little that you got to the bowling alley And they would feel so sad because the ball was so heavy and it would end up in the gutter. But you could put up those bumper guards in order for the ball to not go in the gutters. And we are so divinely led that all we need to do is let go and watch those signs. Next card that was kind of coming out for us was the World card. We have completed. This is the card of completion. Last card in the tarot deck. Okay, you don't have to dance naked, but if you want to, that's fine. But it is a time to celebrate. We just had that full moon in Leo, and Leo makes us feel like celebrating. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Go out and just nurture and nourish yourself for having come to this point. It's a wonderful completion of the hero's journey, that you've come home through helping and saving, enabling so many other people. And now you've come full circle home to who you are, letting go of anything and everything that no longer serves you. This is the new completion. The completion so that we can start anew. The next card that came out for us was the Fool. There are lots of cards that, like the Judgment card or the World card, the Fool card is different for a new beginning because this is asking us to start again like a child. If you can walk forward in wonder and in enchantment, to create the world as a child would be, with these huge, wide-eyed, no restrictions, no constrictions as to what you can do, what you can be, and what you can have. Allow yourself to be led by the divine. This is a beautiful, beautiful card of starting over. The next card that came out for us was the Three of Pentacles. This card is the card of well, I love the number of 3 because 3 is creation. Wherever 2 or more are gathered in God's name, miracles happen. But this is a card of being recognized, remunerated for your and rewarded for your gifts and talents, your skills, those projects that you have put your heart and soul into that may not have been realized. They are going to come again, as this is a time of culmination and a time of harvest, seeing the culmination of what we have sown. And the Pentacles are all about that abundance and prosperity and being recognized. That's wonderful. The last card for us is, I always call the Eight of Pentacles the being remarkable card. Being remarkable for who you are and for what you love doing. This little fellow here is working on his craft very diligently, and it's also a card of being recognized for your craftsmanship, being recognized for who you are and what you so beautifully do. And don't ever forget that you make a difference, because you are an integral puzzle piece of the planet. And nobody does you the way that you do you. Do not ever wish to be anybody else. You're not in competition with anybody else. And the more you can authentically just do you, then the universe will be able to recognize you, fully recognize you, and send you more opportunities and connections to just be your shiny, glorious self. That is it for this week. Have a beautiful, beautiful start to Mercury retrograde. Please, again, don't push and force anything during this time. Take time out to rest and recoup and find different ways that you can connect with nature, bird song, the breeze. Feel the breeze on your face. If you have an opportunity to go walk near water, that would be lovely as well. Just a reminder that my books are all available on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. And one +1 is for those overseas, but 831-277-3716 is the name of my business, Angel Healing House, and my wonderful channeled books are all available on my website. There's my beautiful Angels of Faith, based on my 2 near-death experiences and how we do not die. My beautiful book, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, which helps us to remember our divine eternal natures. And the sequel to it is I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel, as I had a walk-in experience, an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003. So all of those books can be found on my website, angelhealinghouse.com. And also, if you would like your own intuitive reading, 90 minutes packed with intuitive guidance, spiritual teaching, we can look at your life from an angel's perspective, and to see why you drew certain events or people to yourself. You can call 831-277-3716. Oh, also, I must mention that these 2 books are also available as audio book downloads, as they're available on Audible, on Amazon, audible.com. These 2 books are #1 Amazon bestsellers. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm wishing you love and so many angel blessings. Go out and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Take care, everyone. Bye.